Good morning, agents of God, and welcome to today's briefing. The mission before you requires wisdom, discernment, and vigilance. The title of this operation, codename, Used but Not Abused. In this mission, we're diving deep into a critical lesson. As agents in the field, God has given each of you talents, skills, and gifts that are meant to serve His kingdom. You are called to shepherd others, to be used by God to bring light into the darkness. But let me be clear, being used by God is not the same as being abused by others. You see, being used by God is the highest calling. But there's a line we must never allow ourselves to cross: being used by people for their own selfish gain. Not everyone who seeks your help is sent by God. Some are sent to drain your resources, your energy, and your gifts. Sometimes people will try to use you, not because they value you or the gifts God has given you, but because they are lazy or have something they want but can't possess. They will attempt to exploit your talents for their own personal gain. But make no mistake, agents, these people are not led by God, they are led by the enemy. We are called to serve. Matthew 20:28 says, "For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others and give his life as a ransom for many." See, when God uses us, it's to fulfill his purpose, to shepherd others, and to expand his kingdom. But beware of those who would use your talents for their own agenda. These people are lazy, manipulative, and driven by selfish desires. They don't care about your well-being. They only care about what you can do for them. Matthew 7:15 warns us, "Beware of false prophets who come disguised as harmless sheep, but are really vicious wolves." This is a reminder that not everyone who comes into your life with smiles and kind words is sent by God. Some come to take advantage of the gifts you possess for their own selfish reasons. But agents, God has given you discernment to see through this. Let's be clear. Your gifts, your talents, and your time, those are precious. God has given them to you to bless others, but they are not for exploitation. Proverbs 3:5-6 tells us, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take." When you allow yourself to be led by God, you'll always know when you're being used for his glory and when you're being used by people for their selfish gains. Ephesians 5:15 says, "So be careful how you live. Don't live like fools, but like those who are wise." Wisdom is your armor in this mission. You must recognize when you are being used by God to fulfill a purpose and when others are simply using you for their own gain. Allow God to use you as his instrument, but not become enslaved to those who seek to manipulate you. Setting boundaries is a godly act, agents. I'll say it again. Setting boundaries is a godly act. Even Jesus himself set boundaries, walking away from crowds when it was time to rest or pray. Luke 5:16. When people constantly demand from you, using you for your gift without respecting your worth or well-being, you are allowed to say no. You are allowed to protect your heart, mind, and spirit from abuse. So remember, agents, we are to be shepherds, not slaves. In John 10:11, Jesus said, "I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd sacrifices his life for the sheep. Being used by God means willingly laying down our lives in service to others. But it also means recognizing when we are being abused or taken advantage of by those who are not led by Him. You are also called to serve. Romans 12:6-8 reminds us, in His grace, God has given us different gifts for doing certain things well. If your gift is serving others, serve them well. If your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. God gave you these gifts to glorify Him and to serve His people. But the enemy will try to twist those gifts into chains. You are chosen. Your gifts are powerful, but never forget that God sees your heart. He knows your limits. He calls you to serve, not to be exploited. Let God guide you in how you use your gifts, and be mindful of those who would try to hijack your purpose for their own agenda. Romans 12:2 reminds us, don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Agents, the mission is clear. Be used, but not abused. Serve others, but do so with wisdom and discernment. Keep your focus on the one who gave you your gifts, and don't let others steal your purpose for their personal gain. God is your ultimate commander, and He will guide your steps. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. Agents of God, stay sharp, stay discerning, and remember, you are a vessel of light, but you are not a tool for the wicked. You're on a mission, and the enemy is always lurking. Until next time, stay vigilant. Let God use you, but never let others abuse you. Dismissed.